Hi, I'm Craig Mason, and I am your instructor for our course this semester. Now, if we were meeting in class, I'd do an introduction, so I'll just do it through this video and let you know a little bit about who I am. Um, I am a professor of education and applied quantitative methods at the University of Maine. Yeah, say that like 10 times fast. That's a mouthful, isn't it? What does that mean? It means that I love statistics. I love statistics. Uh, so this is like the perfect course for me to teach because I love talking about it. I love teaching it. So we'll have a good time. Other than teaching, I do a lot of research. I do a lot of research. And a lot of that research is in the area of developmental epidemiology, which is another mouthful, isn't it? But developmental epidemiology involves large-scale, often population-based data, hundreds of thousands of kids data sometimes, looking at what early childhood factors lead to kids growing up healthy and successful. Why is it that some kids can face adversity and they still excel, and other kids face adversity and they struggle? And what can we do to help those kids who struggle excel? Kind of questions. The kind of reflecting that, I do a lot of work. I'm also particularly, I do a lot of work in hearing loss, around newborn hearing loss, with colleagues in the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta, and also some friends and coworkers in University of Colorado Boulder, looking at identifying babies who have hearing loss and then making sure they get diagnosed and into early intervention, and that will work for them, and what's the effective intervention so that they can also, again, excel the way that all kids should. So that kind of implies I'm interested in what's called growth modeling, which is looking at trajectories. What are the trajectories people end up on? Some are taking off and some aren't. And how do we change those trajectories if we need to? How do we, again, help everybody succeed in life? I do a lot of work around epidemiology, again, developmental epidemiology. And one of the things about epidemiology is it often involves looking at not just the impact of things on a person, but also across a population. So what's the impact something has on you, but also on all of society. Very interesting stuff that we may talk about a little bit later on. Now, I define myself as a methodologist, that I'm interested in research methodology. So I teach courses like this. And what that means is I'm often more interested, really, I'm primarily interested in the research question of how do you do the research study, more than even the content area. The world's complicated, the world's messy. How do we understand that? How do we tease apart all the things that are going on around children to understand how to help children grow? That's a complicated process, and I love it. I love dealing with this messy real-world data. But it's gotten me involved in all sorts of projects over the years. I've done stuff from looking at the prenatal environment influencing neonatal, brand new babies. Don't smoke. To looking at early intervention, what are effective early interventions for children, to looking at, I'm doing a project right now in Atlanta where we're looking at 4 different conditions, different math programs for kids in a randomized control trial, randomizing kids to receive different computerized math programs in a bunch of middle school kids. Kind of very cool project there, particularly given all the craziness of COVID right now. To looking at adolescent behavior problems. I used to do a lot of work looking at delinquent teenagers, and to looking at how do you build communities, physically build communities to promote physical activity and mental health in 80, 90-year-old Hispanic immigrants in East Little Havana. That's another fascinating project. Very different, but I like it. I get involved in all sorts of different projects, And I mention this because we'll talk about some of these projects over the course of the semester. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of good. I've seen a lot of craziness. And we'll share some of those stories over the course of the semester. So again, I just can't wait to get started. We will have a good time, I hope. I hope, if nothing else, you learn something and gain some appreciation for the possibilities of this sort of work. So otherwise, if you have questions, let me know. Email me. I'm going to have office hours on Zoom. Come to my office hours. I love to talk about this stuff if you have questions. I'm not a scary, intimidating person. Please come talk to me if you have questions. You won't shut me up once we get talking stats. I'm happy to talk with you and help you if you've got questions. So otherwise, I will sign off for now. Take care, and I look forward to working with you throughout the semester. Bye-bye.